Hello guys and welcome back. So yeah, I think the front view does not look very good, so I need to do some tweaking. One thing you can do just to tweak everything together is go to the Z plugin, and there's a transpose master, and just transpose the mesh. So I have a combined version, D button to smooth preview everything, and I can use move and double click there. Okay, and I can go shift things around. So I don't quite like what's going on here. Maybe there's something that I can just refine. Can make maybe the ankle a bit smaller. Looks okay from the top view. Alright. Cool. Now what I need to do is just go back to the Z plugin Transpose Master and just click the second button to go back. Okay. Now I can grab this piece and start creating my different patches. I don't have a lot of patches in this time. So I will have a front piece, a back piece, a piece on the heel, and a piece on the front. Okay. So what I need to do here is just duplicate the model. Okay. And then I use slice curve, so BSI to slice the top off. Control Shift and double click on that and do a delete hidden to get rid of that, and then I can just reposition this. Maybe that's what I need to start with. So I can still keep that really original one to hide it here. Maybe I don't need to show need to see the leg anymore. That's just for me to start. Anyway, so let me duplicate this guy one more time, and that's when I start to cut things out. Use slice curve. I can start cutting here. So double click the tab button actually. So you should know how to use slice curve, right? So Control Shift and drag down, tap the out button twice to have a turn, and again over here, and again over here, and then again. This time it's going to be actually a little bit rounded, so you just tap the out button once, and then that's going to be the front part. And then moving on down here, we have something like this. I think this is how it looks like. Okay, so this purple area is gonna be the one I keep, and then we'll do a delete hidden. Okay, all right, and then again, what I need to do after this, let me turn on double here, as this is gonna be a zero measure here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go to half and half and half, right, until I get a simpler model, and that's gonna be this piece. And afterwards, actually I need to tweak the front a little bit. Looks not very good from the front view, so I'm gonna drag this guy and just shifting it over. I can smooth it. Okay, I will retopologize this show eventually, so I don't really worry about the topology. Even it's kind of like having a topology, I still don't think this is you know, animation ready topology. This is just gonna be sculpting ready topology. Okay, so I need to cut the front also, so I need to cut that and cut maybe just this. So holding down Control Shift and holding down space and go for B radius. So what I cut now is the radius will actually defines to cut actually two lines, and the distance between those two lines will be the radius of the brush. Okay, all right, and then I can Control Shift and click on the middle one, do a auto group, and then go back. All right, and then I can just delete this blue part and do one more zero measure. Okay, to get my model here. I don't really need to go lower than that, just the same maybe. All right, cool. It's a little bit off center. Let me Control Z to go back. this time really careful. I think it does change in the middle. So yeah, like this. Oops, brush has to be smaller. Alright. Control Shift and click, auto group. Control Shift and double click. Do a delete hidden and then zero measure. Alright, cool. That feels better. Okay. Let me unsolo that. And I need to give this guy a thickness. So BDM to go to Z modeler, hit OK, and then we go for extrude all polygons. Extrude out, and then we can hit Alt button to give it a different polygroup while we're doing this. Okay. Hit D button and hit yes. Alright, cool. So that's one little piece here. And the others are gonna be very similar. So I do have another little piece here, and something behind it. I have a little back piece over there. Okay, so let me do that simple one here. So what I need to do here is just duplicate this guy and just slice out the shape. So the shape will be something like this. Okay, and then we do a delete hidden. Okay, turn on double, right, and then we go zero measure with half and just keep clicking until you're happy with the poly count. So all you're concerning here is not the topology, it's the poly count to make it low enough so it's manageable. And BZM to go to the modeler, which is extrude out that thickness. Okay, maybe it needs to be a little bit longer. Okay, and D button and hit yes. Okay. So when we keep adding those pieces, you can see they're expanding too much. They're exceeding the base, as you can see here. So when that happens, you simply just push them back in, right? And also push this guy inwards, because you don't want to keep expanding things outwards, right? Because if they're supposed to be underneath, they should be pushed in. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do here. Alright, and that means this maybe is pushing out too much. So let me go to the BDM, the modeler, go extrude, this time polygroup all. Right, and push them back in by holding down shift to just move them in. Can do the same thing here. Maybe to push it out. Hit D button and yes. Let's say always yes. Okay, that's easier. Alright. And then we can even tweak their shape afterwards if we're not happy with some of the shapes we're getting. I think it's okay. Actually, I want this line to be, so let me push it in here. So what I want to do here is make those two lines parallel, but in my reference they're tilting back more, so I need to do that. Okay, so never forget to tweak. Now it's not gonna be perfect this first time you make it, so you just don't worry about it. You just tweak it afterwards. Okay, you just don't expect it's good. Assume it's bad. Sometimes that helps. Yeah, we're not geniuses, right? We're not those guys who can just be able to paint the shape really quickly and really fast. Right, we don't have that talent. Most of the people doesn't. That's why good artists, or those super genius artists, you can see one of them in 1,000 years or 100 years. You're not that guy, right? You spend your time and you do your work to make the shape good. All right, cool. Yeah, that looks okay, I guess. So just one more in the front. So I kind of wanted to have just a little coverage here. So just need to have another duplication. Slice it. Gonna shift and grab that. Oh, you know what? I don't want to slice with the radius anymore. So just slice it here. Delete hidden and then zero measure. can already go for half, do that again. Okay, and then BDM to go to Z molar. We can then extrude that out. Okay, and that's probably too much. Anyway, so we have something like that in the front. Okay, this guy appears to be a little bit too thick. Can maybe push it back in. So you can push it back in while holding down shift. And I think I just have one more. I'll do a duplication. Just cut it over here. Okay. Delete hidden. Zero measure. Go for half. It's the same thing again and again. Right? It will feel boring very quickly. But yeah, it's another little band here. And the back, it's the shape all by itself, so I think I can just use that one I'm having already. So this one I can do also a, oh, you know what? For this guy, I don't want it to be wrapping around all the way. So yeah, I need to go back. So I need to get rid of the front parts. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I'm getting the back also. Sorry about that. So yeah, go back here. Turn on double, and we can do Control Shift and click on this guy. Do a auto group before I cut it. Before I delete the front part. Right. Okay. And then Control W to give everything a group. So you measure again and again. And again, maybe. And BDM to go to Z molar, extrude out the thickness. Okay, that's what I need. So again, when you have something popping out, you just push them back in. And I can tweak the shape on this side to make it match better with that. Maybe that can go out just a little bit. Okay. So original shape here. Let me just slash it one more time. Control Shift and double click. And delete hidden to get rid of the top. Turn on double. So yeah, this front piece also needs some work. Because this piece is actually supposed to be separated. So what I can do is I can do this. Yeah, do that. Maybe a bit closer to the front when I'm cutting. Okay, and do a split hidden, or let me do a duplication, and I can keep this guy as a copy. I just had that. Okay, and I need to Control Shift and click on that, do a split hidden, so that way I have those two pieces. So for the top one, I'm going to do a zero measure again, right? And go for half, zero measure, zero measure, zero measure. And then BDM, this time maybe I can extrude inwards. All polygons, of course. And then make sure that you turn up double and flip it this time, because we're extruding inwards. Okay. And this guy is going to be the middle guy here. We'll see how we deal with that. Let me see. How does it look like in the front? Okay, that's quite dark, so I can't really see, but I guess this is going to be this guy. Okay. Anyway, so that's all the patches, right, for the show. And I think this guy, I just need to do another zero measure. Yeah. So we just really quickly separate all the patches like this. It's a zero measure, slash and zero measure, right? To get those patches. If it doesn't give you the topology you want it to have, you can go for the same. And just do that again and again until it's giving you something better like that. Okay. Anyway, So we have all the different smaller patches now. Maybe just this one, right? Just need a little bit extrusion here. And sometimes we don't need everything here. Like I can say, okay, I can probably just keep all these guys in the middle. But I think that probably doesn't matter for my sculpting anyways. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just see if that matters. If not, then we don't worry about it. Right? Extrude in and make sure that you turn up double and flip it. D button to smooth preview. Okay, cool. That's all the smaller patches. Okay, so let's move on to the next video. We can then talk about how we can maybe tweak the shapes a little bit, right? And we can maybe talk about how we can sculpt it to give it some more like wrinkles and stuff, right? That would be cool. Cool. See you next time.